Well, good afternoon everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. You know, I was driving around today and I got to thinking, what would happen if I had a flat tire? You know, I recently lifted the Tacoma back here behind me and I put different wheels and different tires on, which of course makes the truck higher. And I was thinking, will the OEM jack still work? Would I be able to raise the truck if I needed to? So I thought I'd come out here and break out the jack, the standard OEM jack that came with the truck, set it up and see if indeed I could get the truck up high enough to be able to change the tire if something did happen. So stay tuned. First we got to find the jack, put it together, and then we're going to see if indeed I can actually raise the truck up high enough to be able to change the tire. All right, let's go ahead and pull the jack out of here. I do know where it is, by the way, and I will say it is much more convenient than where it was in the Tundra. If you saw that video, in the Tundra it was like back here behind the rear seat somewhere, and the seats didn't move, so you kind of had to be an acrobat to get it out. Not so in the Tacoma. You just lift the compartment behind the passenger side and there it is. So it is one of these bottle jacks. I hate these things, but let's see if we can go ahead and get this thing assembled and see if we can't raise the truck a little bit. Let's see, first we got to figure out how to get this thing out of here. I'm sure I did it backwards. I did. Let's do it the right way. So let's put that back on and take it off on the front there like you're supposed to, and then of course you see it doesn't come out. Now rather than pulling on that thing like some kind of madman, you should be able to turn this a little bit, because they do extend the jack a little bit to fasten it in here so it doesn't rattle around. So let's go ahead and turn this. I should be able to do it by hand. Yeah, so we'll bring it down a little bit. And there we have the lovely bottle jack released from the truck now. So I'm going to go ahead and sit this down for just a minute and wait until you see where you have to put the jack. It's crazy. But anyway, let's grab the handle here. So we've got the handle here. And of course, what comes in this thing, and I'm going to try to remember. You guys can see it has the wrench here, which doesn't want to come out very easily. Let's go to the next part. Here we have one part of the handle. There is another extension piece, I guess. And then yet another extension piece here. And looks like the wrench or another part of the handle here inside. So let me get you guys set up a little better on a tripod, and then we'll put this thing together and see if we can't figure it out. Alright, got you guys on a tripod. We're gonna put this thing together. We have these extensions, and they do have these little nubs. Just fits one over the other, over that little nub, like so. And this little hook here is what actually goes in the hole on the jack to be able to turn it. So we'll put that one together, and then of course you have the handle, or the wrench I guess, that fits through the other end of this thing, hooks on, and this is what you turn the jack with. So let's go over to where the jack is. Alright, we're under the truck here next to the rear passenger side wheel, and right here, kind of in the middle of the wheel, you'll see these bolts coming down, and right underneath there is where you're supposed to put this jack. Not very easy to get to, I must say. I would hate to have to do this in the real world, let me tell you. But let's go ahead and see if by hand we can't raise this thing up to some height anyway, to where we can at least contact the axle, I guess, under here, to where we're going to have to raise the truck from. Alright, I think I have it extended all the way up now to where it's supposed to be hitting. So now we have to go out and grab the handle and see if we can't jack this thing up a bit. Let me go ahead and get the handle, and then we'll see about that. Okay, got you guys zoomed in. You can see the jack right there on the inside of the tire. Do not like the positioning of that at all, but I'll zoom you out a little bit now. We're going to stick the handle in there and see if we can't raise this thing up a bit. Let's give it a try. Wow. It is a horrible position to do this. Let's go back in a little closer for you guys. Maybe you'll be able to see if the tire actually comes off the ground. Okay, as you can see here, we do have clearance of the tire above the ground. So we could indeed use that bottle jack to be able to lift this tire off. Let's go ahead and take a look in here. Maybe you guys can see. There's the jack. It would indeed work. That's the good news. The bad news is, I would hope that you have everything ready to go, because believe me, I wouldn't want to leave that thing sitting on that jack for very long. And this has nothing to do with the lift. It's just so flimsy. I don't know that I could trust it for very long, but in a pinch, of course, you could actually get the tire off. That's the good news. So I'm happy about that. I will say, if you went much higher, probably would have to do something else, because I think you would extend the bottle jack further than it could possibly go to be able to take that tire off. But let's go ahead and lower it back down. Okay, we got the truck lowered back onto the ground using the again the wrench, the lug wrench, I guess, that comes with it. I do prefer a T-bar. I need to get a T-bar for this truck. They're much easier to use, especially if you have to break a difficult you know, lug nut to get it off. But my thoughts on the bottle jack, you know, it's about as cheap as you can possibly get, I think, and frankly not very safe. I'd want to get that tire off and on just as quick as possible, for fear that that thing might fail. I don't know. Another thing to consider, you know, they put the jacking point so far under the truck, and then it's right behind the wheel, that it's rather difficult to get to, and you're not going to be most likely in ideal situation like I am here at home, should you ever actually need to change a tire. So you might want to have a towel or something in the truck with you, or something to kneel on, because most likely wherever you're at is not going to be very pleasant on the knees if you really have to do this in real life. I am happy though that the bottle jack did work. By lifting this truck, I didn't eliminate being able to use that thing, and that makes me happy. I'm curious though, you guys who have gone for higher lifts or a different strategy for the lift, if you're able to still use that jack, or if you had to get something else, and if you did, what did you get and where do you put it? You know, that's the other big thing for me. I wouldn't have minded, you know, necessarily getting something else, but chances are I'd have probably had to lock it somehow in the bed to keep it from getting stolen, because it wouldn't fit inside the cab very well and still be able to use, you know, the seating and stuff in there for passengers. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't before, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day. Bye.